Sitting at 2-0, and they'll finish things off tomorrow against Mexico. Off we go in the finale for the Americans in strike one.
Staff of the USA, I think they're going to be aggressive tonight, and the first two swings certainly tell the story. And as this game for them,
could even argue more important. Backdoor breaking pitch for strike three, and we'll dive into those details. And baseball players competing with Team USA, going 2-0 in this event so far. Well, there are 22 players on team together this roster. 2-2 to Birdie is swung on and missed. Another breaking pitch. A pitch that Noel, by the way, going to start tomorrow's game for Team Italy. Here's the captain of the Italian squad, Vinny Pasquin, the Italian nightmare. 32 home runs a season ago for Pasquin.
hitting in a bandbox.
Got a little smaller, though. Moved the fences in at Kaufman. And how about this first inning for Nolan McLean? Striking out the side, showing off that breaking stuff. Team USA is coming to bat with this lineup. A little different look than last night. Witt, Henderson, Judge. Half of that with the Cincinnati Reds. He's bounced around in recent years. At the knees with a strike. On a one-year contract with the Colorado Rockies. Should be the 17th that he's played for the last 6 seasons. Witt on the ground to short. Sam Antonacci across the diamond for the first out. Team USA, and he heard that Bobby Witt's going to be the starting shortstop. Mark DeRosa was right up front with him. Henderson said, okay, I'm in.
It's potential. And early on, when they had the success of getting,
they've had big outbursts. They had the 5-run inning last night. The swing and a miss from Henderson, 2 up and 2 down, and they've had a lot of traffic. It's just been once they've gotten guys on, they've not been able to
beat all of baseball and runners in scoring position. It's just right now they're all getting their legs under them. Well, this would be a good test for Lorenzen, because pitching in Coors Field is like facing this lineup. Navigating, getting 3 clean outs in this game.
That's a 4-pitch walk to Judge. And that's the life that he chose, signing as a free agent this off. Facing his old Phillies teammate here in Lorenzen. It's one of the several teams Lorenzen's played for the last few years and had one of his 5. Here's his 2-0 to Schwarber. That's strike.
Maybe that's why he went to Colorado. He can be a.
So he walks Judge with 2 outs to keep this inning going. Now 3-1 on Schwarber, who sends a fly ball down the right field line. Caglione's over there. He's got it. And Lorenzen's got to score his first inning. On to the second in Houston. Pretty good trip going for this young fella. He got to skip school, check. He got to meet Shohei Ohtani's the unicorn, and Aaron Judge is the ultimate hitter. But you talk about ultimate 5-tool baseball player. Bobby Witt showed everybody that he had over there. Just an absolute cannon. He said he wasn't quite happy with it because he thought the throw cut a little bit too much. High Mariners DHing for Team Italy. Yeah, tomahawking this ball on the ground to second. That's where Ernie Clement draws the start today. 1 gone in the second.
He competes. He actually wants the ball when situations turn uncomfortable. Case in point, his major league debut last August 16th against the Mariners.
Focus in pitching. He went to Oklahoma State as a two-way player. He hit 36 home runs in his time there, so his was going to be as a quarterback. DeZenzo on the ground to short. Witt's got it. 2 up and 2 down in the second. But decided to put football to bed and focus just on baseball.
Yeah, it's a great start to what hopefully will be a long career.
Kyle Teel sends a high fly ball to deep left field. Anthony's back, turning and watching this one go. Kyle Teel to the White Sox starts the scoring with a home run. Really good offensive catcher who made his debut last season for the White Sox. About to go get an espresso shot. The celebration for Team Italy. Organizations came together for the first time a little more than a week ago, and you hear Team USA talking about how guys sing Italian songs in the aisles. And A little bit of nice Italian wine might have been involved in that. Caglione gets hit by the pitch. Yeah, and he's aboard with 2 out.
Hit by pitch, that's something when you get hit on the foot, you don't mind it too. Promotion of baseball, trying to find as many players as they can. But it's also creating the confidence that they can.
Last year. Here's a drive to right center field that sends Judge back to the track, to the wall, and gone. Sam Antonacci hits a home run. Team Italy with a 3-0 lead. Antonacci, another White Sox, although he's not made it any higher than Double-A and hit a total of 5 home runs in the minor leagues last year. He's gone deep against Team USA, and Azzurri having all the fun so far. Home runs in the second inning, and a 3-0 lead for Italy. Now it's Dante Nori stroking the ball to left center field. Roman Anthony strides into the gap to cut it off and end the inning. It's amazing to have a home run that wins a Game 7, and it's not the home run that people talk most about.
My own experiences being a second away from winning. Or
how about a right center field? Marcy and Caglione. It'll be Caglione and right. I mean, for the longest time, looked like second inning. Lorenzen pitching with the lead as he faces off with Roman Anthony. Chops the first pitch into the ground. Pasquantino at first. 2 out. Experience in this event, and envisions him as a right-handed bat off of the bench in the knockout phase. And didn't want him to go into that cold.
From organizations and players and pitchers. And
over to first, Pasquantino feeding Lorenzen, and he works a quick inning. 7 pitches after Italy takes the lead.
Lorenzen, what did you like about him that convinced you to start him tonight?
Well, I faced him so many times when I play. It's for me.
That happened this offseason. He spent 6 months out of the last year living in Italy. Said, yeah, it was a beautiful time to be able to hang out.
Manager, one, all the weight and pressure, and the other, he's got nothing but going up, right? Like everything they do now is a tremendous bonus. Francisco.
Marcy goes from 0-2 to taking the walk there against McLean. And now it's John Birdie floating it foul. Cervelli was born
a couple home runs, rushing just a little bit.
There goes the runner from first, and it's hit foul. The rookie at first, a veteran at the plate. Marcy runs again, and it's fouled again. Marcy not going this time. Birdie lifts a fly ball to center field. Back goes Pete Crow Armstrong. Plenty of room. Marcy tags. Thought about it, but a good throw from PCA, and back to first goes Marcy.
It's a fly ball in BP. It's not. It makes you look silly.
I bet.
Yeah, you just can't imagine.
Roster, and do so personally. Not just casting a wide net saying, you know, who's got a 10, here it is. A symbolic offering of a spot on Team Italy from Pasquantino. Breaking pitch lands at the knees for out number 2. So good last night, those 7 Ks over 4 innings. There goes Marcy, got a great jump. Throw from Will Smith, skips into center field. Marcy heads for third. Crow Armstrong won't even try. Yeah, Marcy's at third base, showing off that
3-way tie.
And the way that that 3-way tie would happen would be if it's out. But to your point, it's all about run prevention in that case.
Yeah, and it's only
the way they dominated Great Britain and Brazil. That's downstairs for ball 4, and the second walk of the inning drawn by the Italians. First and third for DeZenzo. 2-0. Chopper over the mound to second. And Clement has to take him right to the bag. So Italy strands a couple this time and leads this game 3-0.
Welcome back to Houston. We're here with USA manager Mark DeRosa. Mark, Nolan McLean likely out.
Selfless guys. There's 14 position players here that deserve to play. And I think at the end of the day, they're all coming together as a team, and we'll figure it out.
You've said all along. Thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, we saw that a little bit on Saturday night against Great Britain, where they trailed into the middle part of the game. Back in the lineup, the Cubs center fielder hitting ninth today. Swings and misses, and he's behind 0-2.
Well, the one thing that's going really,
and the biggest issue for him is laying off balls. Golfs this one to center field. Marcy goes back on it, steps onto the warning track, and he hit it to the wrong part of the yard. Team.
to win 5-3.
Bouncing ball left side, in through. First hit of the game for USA comes from Witt.
As you see, Bobby Witt was going to be a hit no matter if he fielded it or not. But
whatever you think you can do. You are so dynamic. And he's going to get second with a wild pitch right here. Has his eyes on third, but throws on the brakes as Pasquantino gets.
This is one of the farthest wild pitches you'll ever see.
On a 1-1 from Lorenzen. He can't lay off. It's in the dirt. Witt takes 90 more. Don Henderson. Count evens 2-2. Judge on deck. Good pitch. It is 2-2. Henderson grounds it to second. Clean play by John Birdie, and that's that for the United States. They strand Witt at third and trail 3-0. 34 years old. He was a lifesaver for the Yankees for a lot of the first half last year. Some of the injuries they dealt with in the rotation.
Change of speeds and arm angles, and the hitter all off balance.
Giving a different look to Kyle Reid. He was one of the key pieces and then made it to the big leagues last year. Had a promising debut. Pair him with a young catcher like this and teach him what he could. So you got benefiting from take your gear down to the bullpen so it's ready to go for any sessions that you have to catch. Like Kyle was saying, it's stuff that like never would have dawned on. That's a walk for Teal to open up this fourth inning. 5 rings to show for it for Pettit. All right, here's Caglione taking a ball from Yarborough. His last couple innings against the staff that had walked only 2 over the first 3 games. Wave and a miss. It's some of that funk. Yeah, now the 1-2. Same look there, but it missed. Really struggled in his first taste. Hits this one hard to right field. Judge will turn and watch it fly. Caglione has hit the 3rd home run of the game for Team Italy. They're going to need a fresh bag of beans over there in that dugout.
That's one of the longest tosses of a bat you'll see in a home run.
But Caglione joins Teal and Antonacci. All these guys down at the bottom of the order, no less. Yeah, Pasquantino, clearly beautiful human being. Strike 1 on Antonacci. WBC for Team Italy. Antonacci's got one of them. His first. If this score were to hold, best case scenario, or if this score holds and then Mexico beats Italy, then you got a potential problem on your hands. Chopper left side. Running through from Gunnar Henderson to get Antonacci, especially as the runs rack up here for Team Italy, because again, if you get into a totals. Dante Norrie, sky high into shallow center field. And an easy one for Witt.
Well, either way, it's imperative in the bottom of the 4th that the a little bit shocking
Back to the top in Marcy. Spinner for a strike. Originally was with the Padres and came over in the Luis Arraez deal a couple years back. An 0-2. A swing and a miss for strike 3 to finish off the inning, but another big swing from a young hitter on Team Italy, Jack Caglione, who did this so many times in his Florida Gators career, showing off Royals fans some of what they hoped. Nothing. Team Italy with the lead. And how about Michael Lorenzen? Back to work in the 4th inning. Buzzes air. 3 innings against the veteran Lorenzen, who's 1-0. Is a strike.
He's done a great job changing pitches. He's not thrown
as he can. 1-1 to Judge on the ground to third. Picked up by DeZenzo. Wide throw, but a stretch from Pasquantino. Work right there.
Yeah, this ball had to wait for that last hop, and then the ball just kind of sails on him. Woo. Wow.
Limber guy. On a 1-0 pitch, Schwarber swings through it, 1-1. Difference is they don't have the room for air because the pitching hasn't been as good. Here's Schwarber sending a fly ball out of center field. Marcy waits for it. 2 gone in the 4th. Pitching's been plenty good on the other side with Lorenzen.
Schwarber, Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Wacha, Tarek Skubal. But he didn't plan on exchanging pleasantries. He said these guys are going to be trying to embarrass.
Can carry this with him as he goes into those starts at Coors Field. Did it against that lineup. I can do it against any big league lineup, no matter where it is. Lorenzen's 1-1. Inside ball 2. The stud outfielder at coaches, Babe Ruth style. I don't want pro teams getting the idea that I can pitch too. Smith goes down the line into the left field corner. Headed for second with the first extra base hit of the game for Team USA. 2-out double, Will Smith.
Expect he's going to be looking for a pitch to really drive here with 2 outs. A good opportunity really to get the USA team going. 2-out base hit. Or 2-out.
21-year-old Roman Anthony. A little bit outside, ball 1. 1-1. United States looking for that spark. Lorenzen ahead of Anthony, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, stays alive. Sharply hit, but right at the second baseman, John Birdie. And they strand the double. So 4 innings in the books here in Houston, and it's all Team Italy so far.
Really enlightened me with why they're wearing the blues.
John Birdie here, the 2-hitter against Yarborough, takes a strike on the inside corner as a nod to that part of the flag, and won their first World Cup. And so a tradition was born where that became the color that not just the World Cup team, but all their internet. Chase and a high cutter. 1 gone in the 5th. A lot of history, though. Italian-American man. Martin was born Alfred Pisano. Strike 1 on Pasquantino. A 1 from Yarborough. Rips it foul. Strike 2. If any like Fort there, and you get a bunch of young kids who want to play baseball after watching this team. Witt cuts it off and gets his Royals teammate. 2 away.
Yeah, growing the sport.
2 down in the 5th inning. Dominic Canzone, who's 0 for 1 with a walk.
We get a lot of headlines over here, too.
That's true. That's true. No balls and 2 strikes. Yarborough lets it fly. Canzone swings and fouls it back. Bottom of the U.S. order due up in the bottom of the 5th. Got evens 2-2 on Canzone. It'll be Goldschmidt, Clement, 2. It's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Here's the payoff. Chopper that backs up Goldschmidt. Yarborough covers it first, and that's a 1-2-3 fifth inning. We're halfway home in Houston. The U.S. bats trying to wake up. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Bottom of the U.S. order. Paul Goldschmidt takes a strike from Lorenzen. And, you know, Francisco Cervelli like a couple quick outs and have a chance to get through one more inning. No balls and 2 strikes on Goldschmidt. I know they said wasn't scoring. They're scoring about 10 runs per game, but the stretches where the offense is quiet, they were still putting pressure on. They've lacked that tonight. It's been
Off contact.
Here's his 1-2. Goldschmidt just barely gets a piece to stay alive. It's 9 straight innings without a run. Taken high, and it's 2-2. Another 2-2. Goldschmidt swings and misses. Strikeout number 8. It was Clement that gave him the spark in the 5th inning on Saturday against Great Britain. What Mark DeRosa was thinking when he put this roster together. Wanting versatility, wanting it to feel like a true team where you had guys that's high praise. 2-1. Down the line, but caught by DeZenzo. And there it's bases empty, 2 outs. Pete Crow Armstrong, the 9-hitter, hit it deep to center field his first time, but it was caught on the track. An espresso shot. I know that's reserved for the home run celebration, but I think he earned it. It's a towering drive down the line. If it's fair, it's a no-doubter. It is foul. Altavilla fires, and it's fouled off 2-2. For coming back last year for the White Sox. His 2-2 is in for strike 3. Team USA shut out through 5 innings against the Italians.
Is in a good spot. If they give up more runs, they don't win.
There's a fly ball to right field that sends Judge back. He's onto the track. He's at the wall. He's got room. All right, so I think it's reached that point of the game where we ought to give you a look to Team USA last night. USA gave up 3 to Team Mexico, now 5 to Italy. So that 8's a pretty big number right here. Best case scenario tomorrow for the United States is a Team Italy win. Worst case scenario is
don't want to maybe get down to that batting average.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? The average. 1-2 pitch. Awkward swing to stay alive. Just protecting right there. It's Te Posada. A 2-2 from Yarborough. Shot by first. Past the diving Goldschmidt. And a fair ball. Ricochets in front of Aaron Judge. Teal's headed for second with a 1-out double. Second extra base hit of the game. Not going to be a simple injury.
Yeah, he knows right about.
Teal will take over the catching duties in a 5-0 game here in the 6th. New pitcher is Brad Keller, and he fires a fastball by Caglione. There's 1-1 to Caglione. Strike 2 for Team Italy, all via the home run. Good stop by Smith. 2-2.
Aaron Nola.
3-2. Here it comes. Taken for ball 4. Fourth walk drawn by Team Italy. Minor leaguer right here. Grounds it back to the mound. Keller's got it. Low throw gets into center field. DeRazio comes in to score. Throw is past second. Backed up by Keller. And it's a mess right now for the American. He's now looking at. Oh, he fouls it into the glove. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly to right field. Should be deep enough to get the job done. Judge makes the catch. We saw his arm last night. Here he'll go to third with it. And it's 7-0, and a sacrifice fly from Nori. This bottom of the lineup for Italy.
But it's the one formula where 3 teams would have to be 3-1. Which I don't know if that's.
Yarborough hit hard in the 4th with a home run from Caglione. Here comes the runner from third, and he dives under the tag. Antonacci makes it 8-0.
Hesitation, he's got no chance. He gets that lead and goes right away.
And you got a young Italian team playing like they got nothing to lose. 8-0. Italy making this hill turn into a mountain for Team USA. Top of the order coming up and to decide who gets to avoid Japan in the quarterfinal. Bobby Witt almost gets hit by the first one from Altavia. U.S. runs in the 2 games against the teams that would be involved in the tiebreaker. Mexico has given up just 5 against the finish to this World Baseball Classic. 2-1 to Witt. It's fouled off. Soft. 2-2 to Witt. Fouled off. It's always the question, the chicken or the egg.
Results. And just when you don't get the results, you look flat. Some hits together and get something going.
Witt trying to start it for him here in the 6th. Witt's got one of the 2 hits in this game for the U.S. He swings through it, was fooled on that tight slider. 1 gone. Gunnar Henderson looks at a strike. This is Teal's injury.
The probability goes way up for Italy.
That's a drive to right center field off of the bat of Gunnar Henderson to get the U.S. on the board. Well, it's a start. First run for the Americans since that 5-run third yesterday. And the crowd will take any excuse to make some noise on a night where they've had very few of them. Judge hitting a looping line drive to center for Marcy. And there are 2 out.
You mentioned he had a down year last year. He will not have a down year this year.
Francisco Cervelli's coming out. Looks like they're going to make a change here with Kyle Schwarber coming up. Pops this one back and out of play. 1-1. LaSource
Making the entrance to the ring. This is getting the last out.
Don't let that guy near the espresso.
No.
Fouled into the glove, strike 3, and you wouldn't even recognize him. LaSorsa, stoic, marches off of the mound. 8-1 Italy after 6.